Hey guys, so today I just want to show you a really easy eye look. I know with all the makeup gurus out there right now, it seems like if you're not doing a crazy smoky eye, then you're not following the trend, but there's a lot of great ways to do something simple that's still darker than what you normally wear, still looks a little natural, but has a more definition to it or a more finished look. So I just want to show you guys this. It focuses on a lot of pinks, so I'm a big fan of pink, but I think it looks pretty on a lot of skin tones and with a lot of different eye colors. So this is just an easy one for you guys to try. We use a couple different colors. I get into more depth on doing the eyeshadow than I have previously, but again, I want it to be easy for you guys to do, so go ahead and just follow along, and if you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. But notice that even people who are good at makeup or think they're good at makeup, like me, make mistakes too, and you'll see that. And so I just want to keep it really honest and fun with you guys that I mess up too, and sometimes it just happens. And so there's some recovery tips in there as well. But enjoy, and thanks for watching. Okay, so first we're just going to start with the Power Hungry MAC palette. I'm going to be using two different palettes during this tutorial, but we're going to start with this one for some of our first few colors that we lay down. I'm going to start with the lightest shade. It's just a really neutral tan. What I'm going to do is just take a big fluffy brush and buff that all over the eyelid. It really helps set any concealer or primer you might have put on your eyes beforehand, and just gives you a really good working color to start with, and then everything else will build off of that. Okay, so next I'm going to take a blending brush. It's tapered at the end so I have more control over the color, but it's still pretty loose and fluffy, so it helps to blend. I'm taking this pretty brown and using it as my transition shade. This helps me build the color, so I'm not just going from really light to really dark. So you always want to start with lighter shades and build up to that darker color. What I'm doing is just applying this color in my crease, and you can kind of be haphazard with it because honestly it all blends in at the end, and eye makeup is not as serious as people make it to be. Like, you don't have to be perfect at it because you're blending a bunch of colors anyways, so it'll all blend out if you just keep blending it with the brush and moving it around. So don't feel like you can really mess this up. And then I went in with my Audacity in Paris palette from Lancome, and I'm using kind of a pinker neutral color because, like I said, this is going to focus on some pinker colors. I like the pink tones because it looks pretty with my skin and my blue eyes, and I think it looks pretty with, like I said, a lot of skin colors and a lot of eye colors, so that's why I went for the pinker tones. It's good to keep your eyeshadow colors in the same color family, so if you're doing, you know, warmer tones or if you're doing cooler tones, stay in the family because going outside of it might give you some weird color combos. So again, I'm taking another pink, it's just a little bit darker, and I'm going to go ahead and go back in that crease and really just building on those colors. I know this seems like a lot of, okay, this is where the mistakes start happening. So throughout this whole video, you'll see how makeup isn't perfect and I'm not perfect at it. So if you can, try to keep your brushes clean because for whatever reason, I have some crazy black stuff on my brush that just keeps messing up my eyeshadow. So try to avoid that, you guys, seriously. I don't know how that happened, whatever. So I'm taking that pink color and blending it back into that crease. I know it seems like a lot of colors, but that's really how you build the eye look. By building and blending and building and blending, you'll get a more cohesive eyeshadow when you're done, so it won't look like stripes. But if you're looking for something a little more simple, I have a video on 15 minutes or less makeup look where I only use 3 colors and it's really easy. But for this look, we're looking for something a little darker and a little more intriguing. So now I'm taking a brown color and I'm going to just apply it to the crease and to the outer corner. Notice how I've changed brushes, and my brush is a lot more dense and small, so it helps me control where the color is going. So I've put it on the outer corner, and then I just drag it into the crease just a little bit. Because we're not looking to get too dark on this eye look, I don't bring it all the way in yet, just because we want to keep that dark color on the outer corners. It'll keep it looking light and natural and keep our eyes open. The less we put in the center of our eyes, it won't be so heavy. And then I'm going back in with that tapered blending brush and just really buffing it out. And that's just like the answer to a lot of your problems when it comes to eyeshadow, is keeping a brush around that you find helps to blend it. So now you can see I'm taking just a little bit and bringing it back into the corners, but keeping most of the color on the outside. Going back in with that pink and blending it out some more. And seriously, guys, eye makeup is just blend, 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 and it's really not as hard as it seems. So then I'm going to take this gorgeous light pinky gold color. It's just one of my favorites. I use it all the time. I'm going to apply it to a flat brush and go ahead and just right underneath my brow put a little bit to really lift my eye. And then I will also apply it to the center of my lid, lower to my lash line, just to really add that pop and kind of finish off the look. So then what I've done here is I've wetted my brush just a little bit, and the way you can do that, I mean, you can use water, but if you have a setting spray or anything like that lying around, that's usually a really good way to add a little bit of moisture to the brush. It just helps really compact that makeup and apply it to your lid without just moving the sparkle or the shimmer around, so it goes on as it looks in the palette. If it's not wet, you might notice that it goes on a little lighter. That's not bad. If you're looking for a lighter look, that's a great way to manage that, but it won't build as well if the brush is dry. So I'm just applying that to the center of my lid and into the inner corners of my eyes as well. Applying the light in these areas just helps to really make your eyes pop. It draws your attention to the color of your eyes as well. And then you'll notice I've taken a really teeny tiny brush and I'm going back in with that darker pink color and just underlining my eyes a little bit, just right underneath my lash line. You can take a darker color, you can take a lighter color, but this just really helps finish the look, and make sure it's attached to the upper eyeshadow as well, otherwise it can look kind of piecey. And then I'm going in with my eyeliner, and here is where life just gets hard. Like, let's be honest. So eyeliner is probably the biggest struggle of doing makeup. I mean, it is for a lot of people. I know it definitely is for me. Even some days, you know, I might totally mess it up and have to start all over, or some days I might get it perfect. Here you can see I struggle with it just a little bit, but like I said in these videos, I really want to be honest and truthful with you guys and show you that, you know, makeup's not perfect, but it is doable. Everyone has the chance to do it and to practice with it. It's not as scary as it looks. And that's what I'm trying to show you guys here. So going in on that second eye, and what I'm doing is just lining from the corner and then gradually growing the line, so making it thicker the more I go out on my eye. It depends on what your eye shape is. Sometimes it's best just to leave it thin the whole way, but then I create this little tail just at the end there, and you know, you call it a wing, whatever, but that is essentially making my eyes look longer and a little bit bigger. And just a quick tip for you guys, if you do get a liquid liner, try to get something that's called a marker or has a firmer tip to it. The more give that brush has, the more likely you are to mess up, the easier it is to mess up. So I found that a firm marker tip is usually a lot more helpful. Well, you guys, this is where it all gets pretty crazy, and it just gets a little sad, if I'm going to be honest. This is where the big mistake happens, so brace yourself, because I know it's happened to you all before, but just hold your breath, because here it comes. Oh, there it is. Well, we did it. We did the thing. We dabbed the mascara brush onto our face, and it can't pass as a beauty mark, so we're gonna have to get it off. So what do we do? Well, lucky for you all, I mess up a lot, and so I have figured out some tips and tricks to help you if this ever happens. What you do is you let that mascara dry and you move on to your lips. So we will come back to this. So let's focus what I'm doing here. I have taken a clear lip liner. I think it's like Maybelline or something. This is one of my favorite products. It's just so easy to use with every lip color, and it does just the exact same thing. And I just line my lips like normal. And then I have a NYX Liquid Suede lip color that I'm using here. This is my go-to color. I'm absolutely in love with this nude. I found a pink nude looks better on my skin tone, so that's what I've gone with. And I just line my lips, and one trick for you guys, the less product you use for these lip stains or long-lasting lip colors, the less flaky or dry they'll get. So really wipe that brush off before you start painting it on, because you don't need a lot of product with these. Okay, so now it's time to go back in and fix that big mistake. So what you do is you take a spoolie. You can find these attached to eyebrow brushes, or you can find them at makeup counters and get a sample one for free probably. That's what I have here. And then you just use the spoolie, make sure the mascara is dry, and then you can use the spoolie to just scrape off that mascara, and it's like it was never there. And then you just go back in with a little bit of that highlight eyeshadow and go over it so you can't see any residue if there's any left. And then you have fixed the problem. Most people have that problem and freak out and try to wipe it off right away, and that's the last thing you want to do. You just want to let it dry and then handle it when you're done. And I mean, really let it dry, because then it'll be so much easier to deal with. So then it's all fixed, and for our final finishing touch, I'm just going to go through and add a little pop of lip gloss to the center of my lips, because I like to give them a little more depth by adding that shimmer right in the center. And notice how I don't put it all over, just in the center of my lips, top and bottom. And then you're done. I just want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and watching me really screw up my makeup and then letting me teach you how to fix it. Have a great day, guys.